How's it going? Welcome back to the show. This is You Made Roscoe. I am Roscoe, and today we're going to be doing a reaction to some stand-up comedy. This will be Steve Martin, and this will be him performing some stand-up on the Smothers Brothers Show back in 1968. So we'll be checking this out. Before we get into it, I do want to ask for anybody who hasn't that they please subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell. Also, make sure you go over to Steve Martin's homepage and do the same thing because we do want to support the artist. And yeah, Steve Martin doing stand up. I know it's been like a long time for probably a lot of people out there, and um, I've seen like little bits and pieces of some stand up from him, but not a whole lot. By the time I caught wind of Steve Martin, I think my first introduction to him was through Saturday Night Live, and then movies of his that he was doing at the around the time he was on Saturday Night Live, but and probably before then too, because I remember the one movie that I think it was called The Jerk. I think that's and I'm if I'm guessing right, I think that's before the Saturday Night Live days, or maybe in the early going. I don't know, but um yeah, no, Steve Martin, I didn't know of him through stand-up comedy. It was through, SNL and stuff like that. But the Smothers Brothers, I'm not real familiar with a lot of their stuff, but I do remember them existing. I do remember the Smothers Brothers being a thing, you know. And they were, of course, older because I wasn't born in '68. But yeah, no, the Smothers Brothers. It's cool seeing them. But yeah, let's go ahead and start this. Steve Martin doing stand up. Let's go.
Because we happened to be walking through the writer area of the show, and there he was sitting at one of our writers' desks. And later we found out that he actually was one of our writers.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and since he hasn't been paid for his work, we thought we'd let him come out and tonight and make a few dollars.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steve Martin.
Thank you. As Tom and Dick said, I'm Steve Martin, and I'll be out here in a minute. While I'm waiting for me, I'd like to jump right into kind of a Sacco Baffo comedy routine. This has really been a big one for me. It's the one that kind of put me where I am today. I'd like to start right off. This is really a big one. The fabulous glove into dove trick. The napkin trick.
And it seemed like a hard enough trick, I suppose. Like nobody else could do that trick, But yeah, let's push this back. And something I didn't realize is that he was one of the writers for the Smothers Brothers. So you see that a lot of these comedians, a lot of comedians come from, that sketch world where they're writers for some of these shows like this. And I know that that was a thing in current day, but I see that it goes back, but it makes sense, that these guys who wrote these jokes, they eventually would want to step out like, dude, if I'm writing the jokes, might as well get up there and say them, and receive all the glory, instead of letting this other person, he gets the glory as if he's the mouthpiece, and the mastermind behind these jokes. But let's keep it going.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That'll be coming out on a record pretty soon. If you want. Down to the big one. This is the one I call the candle trick. Use this candle here. Drum roll, please. Probably wondering what this is. This is the Chinese mystery pagoda box of the dead.
Let's push this back, and we'll keep this thing going. Let's go.
Probably wondering what this is. This is the Chinese mystery pagoda box of the dead. That's what it is. Here's an oldie but goodie. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I must insist on your absolute silence during the course of this next trick. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the toilet float trick. The Mystic Oriental lighting, please. Much better. The Mystic Oriental music. Oh, wisdom, virtue, beauty, truth, art, nature, certainty, courage, justice, freedom, God, and immortality. Oh, infinite self of being beyond one's own true pragmatic metaphysics.
What the hell is jumping under there? How is he making that thing jump? Unless, I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. Let me push this back. And there we go. And we'll go ahead and finish out. Let's go.
Courage, justice, freedom, God, and immortality. Oh, infinite self of being beyond one's own true pragmatic metaphysics. It's supposed to disappear. Cool it. Return. 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 Return, you fool. It's headed for the John.
All right. Let's push this thing back. See if we can. All right. And that was Steve Martin on the Smothers Brothers Show. And he was doing some stand-up, and that was cool, I suppose. This reminded me a lot of Carrot Top and what he would end up doing in his act, and the way he's implementing all of these different props and stuff like that, and me myself, I never was like a big person for those type of comics, that prop comedy and even physical comedy, like I dig it to a degree, but then it gets kind of old kind of fast. I like to be able to, think about a story or whatever's happening when comics who are able to tell a story or something like that to tell a joke, and stuff like that. I like those type of comics a little bit more, um, but yeah, no, this was cool because I did like Steve Martin, so he was one of those that was despite the fact that he was more of a physical comedian, he always made me laugh, but this time this time no, it wasn't that wasn't the case. Like this was like hella corny, if I'm really being honest. But still cool at the same time, like it was corny but cool because I hadn't seen this. I actually this is the first time I think ever in my life that I've seen Steve Martin with black hair or brown hair or whatever that is, anything other than that silver mane that he's always had, ever since I was a little kid. When I saw him in the jerk, he had a silver mane. So and that was man, that has to be like 40 years ago or something like that. It was like a long while ago when the jerk was out. But um if not longer. I don't know. It was out a long time ago. But yeah, Steve Martin, he did his thing, whatever that was. And I'm not even gonna do a thumbs up, well, yeah, I suppose we'll throw a thumb up for Steve Martin. He's a legend still, but hopefully we'll get to see better stuff from Steve Martin. But um yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the share button, hit the playlist option. You'll pick the one named comedy reactions. You'll see this and everything else in that playlist that's comedy related. Um, and the things that's coming up in the future, of course, that'll be that, that'll go into that playlist. But I do have playlists for other artists, a lot of great music. Well, a lot of great things that are music related, because as you can see, I step outside of that. But yeah, no, a lot of that stuff is, tied into music, reactions to music and stuff like that. That's been the basis of what I've done. But yeah, nothing's beyond my grasp, So if you were to request that I check out something other than comedy even, like if I'm able, if it's not, if it's something that won't get stricken down, then I could check it out. Pretty much that's pretty much anything, I ain't checking out nothing like lewd, and super crazy, but yeah, no, most anything, it doesn't matter. But um Cash App, $, you made Roscoe, PayPal at you made Roscoe. Super thanks option is available for those who like to show their support or appreciation for what's being done on the page. And that's it. That's all. I'm done. I will see you again soon. So until next time, be safe and be good.